Yo, what's going guys? It's your boy Mod, aka the Mop of Justice, bringing my PCL D-League Season 1 Week 5 Wi-Fi battle versus Aaron2420, coach of the Calgary Infernape. If you guys enjoy this, feel free to drop a like, comment, subscribe down below. Now, Aaron is actually a really good friend of mine. We're currently, along with a couple other people, are doing a manga reading series that I sometimes do over on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/mopjustice. All in all, he's a really fun guy. He does a whole bunch of Draft League content. I know he's a coach in the MPL as well as the APA Academy. I know there's another league, but I'm currently spacing on it. But either way, make sure you guys go check him out. He actually wound up taking a team over in the PCL, so he did make a few transactions quite a while ago. But in my opinion, his team is incredibly threatening, and it was both exciting and terrifying to prep for him. But just gonna go over his draft real quick. So he has Pheromosa, Excadrill, Tyranitar, Necrozma with Z moves, Mega Charizard X, Rotomo with Z moves, Togekiss, Mantine, Torrent Greninja, Toucannon, and Alola Ninetales. Now, quick breakdown of the 6 that I wound up bringing. I brought a Yachi Berry Garchomp with Swords Dance, Stealth Rocks, and Earthquake and Stone Edge. Basically, Edgequake hit his entire team. Garchomp's primary purpose, basically Garchomp was my dedicated lead. No matter what, there's nothing that he can kill me outright with because of my Yachi Berry. So my goal was to basically get up rocks as soon as possible to try to chip down that Zard X, if at all possible, for one of my 2 sweepers. Later on, you guys are going to see. But, yeah, so next up, I brought a sturdy Magnezone with leftovers, being able to come in on potential rocks or like a resisted hit, like a U-turn or whatever. I can safely get back up the recovery, get back up to sturdy, which will come in handy for me being able to absolutely nuke anyone Pokemon he wants to bring in. If he brings in Charizard X on it, thinking, oh, well, I'm just going to get off a DD right now, I can safely just fire off a Thunder Wave and neuter that threat. I also have HP Fire for the, I think that was primarily there for the Excadrill, as well as Volt Switch and Flash Cannon, which hit basically his entire team. I have a physically defensive Chestnut with a Koba Berry, which is the flying resist berry, if you're not certain of. Basically, it was my sand check in case he was packing Aerial Ace on either Tyranitar or Excadrill, with Drain Punch, Spikes, Leech Seed, and Super Feint. Super Feint was my best option for being able to hit Togekiss, which I thought would be his primary switch into Chestnut. Next up, I have actually one of my win cons this week being Tentacruel, which is a max speed, timid, max special attack choice scarf set. It's basically designed to potentially speed type with a +1 Zard in case it becomes a threat, because like Charizard X actually demolishes my entire draft, so I have some very niche ways of being able to deal with it. But all in all, Hydro Pump and Sludge Wave were incredibly effective this game. I also was packing Dazzling Gleam, which gave me something to hit both the Greninja and the Pheromosa super effectively. And then last move, Haze, just in case. Just in case to be able to stop Zard from DDing up on me. In case I didn't want to risk the Hydro Miss, or if Sludge Wave didn't happen to KO. But, and then next mon, I have a Florges, which is just Calm Mind, Moon Blast, Wish Toxic. He didn't really have any good Fairy Resist. His best Fairy Resist didn't even come, as you guys see. His only Fairy Resist is the Excadrill. Toxic was just good for whittling his team down, and then Wish for recovery. And then last mon is another Scarf user, Choice Scarf Weavile, which I specifically was packing punishment on it because I was actually kind of afraid of him bringing an autotomized weakness policy Necrozma, which after the autotomize and the weakness policy boost, punishment guaranteed Ocone, and I outsped him unless he got 2 autotomizes off. I also had low kick to be able to hit the Tyranitar, which, as you guys see, didn't come. Icicle Crash for general spam, and then Iron Tail to give me something to be able to kill the Ninetales before it potentially gets up Veil. But in any case, that's the team in general. I just decided there's no reason to change my dedicated lead. No matter what, I'm going to lead off with Garchomp turn 1 and get up my rocks. Rocks are going to be incredibly crucial for wearing down his team. So, as he perfectly reads this and leads off with his Greninja, I should also note that I kind of changed up my nicknames this week and went with a quintessential quintuplets theme in honor of the manga that, again, we're reading over on my Twitch channel. Now, he's going to fire off an Ice Beam. Thanks to my Yachi Berry, I'm going to eat it. I get up my rocks. Boom. Garchomp's job is done. I'm perfectly fine with sacking it off. Torn Greninja getting the kill. Turn 2. He gets a crit on the second turn. That definitely does not matter, because Yachi was already gone. At this point, I go out into my Chestnut because it was kind of my most one of my most expendable Mons, because the only thing I really brought this here for was for the Tyranitar and Excadrill, but obviously those didn't come. I'm easily going to be able to eat up that Ice Beam because it's not stab, and I'm going to be able to OHKO with a Drain Punch. Gets a nice recovery back. He goes out into his Toucannon. At this point, I'm realizing that if he's Sheer Force Life Orb, it could actually be problematic if he predicts my Magnet Zone, because this thing also gets Heat Wave. So I decided I'm just gonna sack. I'm basically trying to sack off my Chestnut. He goes for a U-turn, which, I mean, good play on him, I guess. I go for the Drain Punch and get a little bit of damage off on this Necrozma. And then next turn rolls around, he's going to reveal that he has Toxic. At this point, again, I don't really care. I did not need Chestnut for anything, so basically my idea is I'm just going to Super Feint, try to get off as much damage as possible, and be able to wear his team down, so to speak. As he's going to go for the Moonlight, which at this point, you guys are going to see he actually does this for like a couple turns or whatever, hoping for like a Super Feint miss, but obviously I'm going to be able to connect the Super Feint, get some nice damage off. He goes for the Moonlight again, which I'm like, dude, just kill me. I don't need Chestnut. I literally made it obvious, or at least I thought it was obvious, that I'm sacking this thing. As I actually decided to fire off a Leech Seed, try to, I figured if he's just gonna try to stall me, Toxic stall me to death, I might as well try to get some recovery out of it, as he's just gonna keep going for Moonlight. As we go, I went for another Super Feint, get a decent chunk of damage. Leech Seed, gonna get some recovery back, all fine and dandy. Poison is starting to rack up a little bit, but it's no biggie. No biggie at all. And as he fires off another Moonlight, I'm gonna see if I could skip ahead a couple turns, because basically what's gonna happen is he's gonna keep spamming Moonlight as I keep spamming Super Feint, hurt by poison, yada yada. He continues to click Moonlight. As I finally get off another Super Feint. I think this is the turn I died to Toxic. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. let's see. Yeah, so I eventually died to Toxic. It's no biggie, because at this point, I'm going to be able to go out into my Florius, which is going to be able to offensively pressure his team. Moonblast, because I have a ton of special attack, is actually going to pick up a KO at this point. Um, as I said on Team Preview, he did not bring the X-Control, which means he does not have a good Fairy Resist, and I'm going to be able to get off some solid damage as he goes out into his Togekiss. Now, at this point, I didn't know if he was going to try to go for a Thunder Wave or try to go for a Defog, but I figured my best possible play is to go out into my Magnezone, which was kind of meant to be a check for this thing, as he fires off a nasty plot. And at this point, I'm kind of worried, but kind of not at the same time. He just goes for the Aura Sphere, which luckily for me, I have Sturdy intact, so I'm going to be able to eat the hit. I'm going to be able to go for a Flash Cannon and get a solid chunk of damage off on this thing, which just barely misses out on the KO. As he's going to get a little leftovers recovery. It's no biggie. I'm going to get a little. At this point, I have 10 HP. He's going to go for an Air Slash. That's obviously going to be able to knock me out at this point. Poor Futuro. Or I guess he's happier now that he gets to go home and do more studying. But at this point, I'm going to be able to go out in my Tentacle and try to offensively pressure his team. Go for the Sludge Wave, because he does not have a Sludge Wave switch in at this point, and I'm going to be able to pick up the KO. Now, at this point, he goes out into Click X's the Charizard, right? As you guys are going to see, he's going to lose a lot of health to Stealth Rock. He's going to Mega Evolve. Charizard X activate. Whoosh. Oh, that was cringe. I'm sorry, guys. Sludge Wave. It's not going to do. It does a decent chunk. He lives. He's going to get off the Dragon Dance. And at this point, I basically have to hope and pray. Or, I guess I don't have to hope and pray because I still have Weavile in the back. But luckily, either he wasn't running as much speed as me, or I won the speed tie. Either way, Tentacle is going to be able to pick it off, as he's going to go on to his Pheromosa. And at this point, I decide I don't think he's Choice Scarf. I'm just going to stay in and go for another Sludge Wave. Because of rocks, he is guaranteed in range unless he's like a max HP Assault Vest Pheromosa, which I doubt he would bring. So I'm going to be able to pick up the KO on the Togekiss, then the Charizard, and then the Pheromosa. His Toucannon is going to come in at about just under half HP, and Sludge Wave is easily going to pick up the KO. I'm fairly certain it doesn't matter unless he had a lot of HP investment. But either way, it was a really solid game. I had a lot of fun playing Aaron2420. Make sure you guys go check him out. Like I said, he does a whole bunch of different draft league content. I think he's in 4 or 5 leagues at the moment. I'm sorry if I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. In any case, thank you everybody for watching. Next week, I believe we are taking on Storm and I think he's the San Diego Sneasels. Yeah, we're taking on Storm and the San Diego Sneasels. He's got another scary team. At this point, he's undefeated, so of course we're going to be trying to keep the win streak going and hopefully knock him off his high horse, so to speak. But in any case, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.